I'd say that there are very few things that you have to worry about when becoming a YouTuber or streamer or even a TikToker. And those things are fake allegations, stuff getting dug up from like 10 years ago, and the internet will inevitably decide to hate you for a while. Or forever. It happens to just about everyone. The infamous switch up. Now, switching up is pretty easily defined as you having a personal opinion, but when you're with others and they start talking about how much they like or dislike that thing, you change your own personal opinion just so you can fit in with the masses. It's a super common practice. Someone will be chilling, watching a YouTube video from a YouTuber they like, then they go on TikTok or Instagram or whatever internet cyanide you like, and then everyone is just like, yeah, that guy sucks, I heard his breath stinks. And so you decide to comment, yeah, his breath does stink, despite the fact that you've never been within 30 miles of the person. And let me clear it out now. Switching up in my book does not involve people who committed actual crimes. Like, no, we did not switch up on Shane Dawson. He fucked his cat. But luckily, there are quite a few name brand examples of people switching up. So just to name a few, Critical used to be considered white people's slot for quite a while, which, to be fair, he is. Queso got accused of being racist because he didn't like Kendrick Lamar's halftime show. I'm not even fucking lying, I can see if I can find the video. Also, his halftime show is just okay. Good message, though. Jinxie went from a beloved streamer and Siege player to, well, a Siege player. He's also labeled as a clip farmer, and believe you me, I will talk about clip farming soon. Or Pat God, who people liked, and then didn't like, and then started calling on him like some ancient god. Or to be more specific, Kai Cenat. The long and short of it is that he went from being loved to hated. But to be more in depth and shit, Kai Cenat came onto the scene really hard in like 2021. But I know he got some followers doing pranks and stuff before that, however long ago that was. Either way, once they started streaming and adding in celebrities, Kai was starting to gain speed fast. And that kind of forced the internet into a divide, because we are nothing if not jabbering little assholes. Namely, I remember seeing stuff about if Kai Cenat was an industry plant. Which would have been funny because as far as I could tell, nobody runs big internet. But hey, what do I know? I thought nobody ran big women and pimps exist. So maybe there is a way to make an industry plant streamer. Either way, as time has gone on, Kai Cenat has become really respected by everyone. He's known for shit like charity and his subpar Elden Ring skills, but since then, I'm not gonna lie, I really stayed away from that side of the internet. I know he helped make his friends famous, and then some of them like kind of fucked him out of some money, I think. But now to the present, the classic event happened. Some tweets making jokes happened, then some TikTok jokes happened, and then some not so joking comments, and then people decided, yeah, fuck Kai Cenat. He's so dumb and boring. I hate him. I hate Kai Cenat. I hate Kai Cenat. Something like that. And I'm gonna be honest, the internet will probably change their minds by next week. Shit, they probably already did change their mind. Because switching up, if you remember, is typically done just to fit in. I guarantee you that half of the people making TikToks about Kai Cenat's emotional stylist flicked on his stream later that same night. Because let's be real here, most TikToks only exist to make money or to fit in with the trend. TikTok is possibly the least genuine social platform out there, aside from OnlyFans probably. That, and I legitimately think I need to talk about Twitter. Like, I need to. Because that is like the monastery of hating for no reason other than fuck that guy. I mean, for example, most false allegations made to have the internet switch up start on Twitter. Quite for example. He was falsely accused of doing some pretty nasty shit, and he had to come out and disprove it. But most of his fanbase immediately decided to switch their opinions when they heard it. And then there were the liars, who exist in every case of switching up ever, which consists of these people saying, you guys just found out Quite's a weirdo? I've been knowing that. No, you didn't. You were watching one of his live streams 20 minutes ago. Twitter is probably the worst of the worst for content creators. I think any content creator with a Twitter is bound to get into some shit just because of the level of pricks who use that site and just want to spread their hate rabies to other random Twitter users. Take, for instance, the creator name neg post that used to be popular. It's where if a creator does something you don't personally like, for instance, TOMMYNFG saying some shit like, I pull lesbians.
I get lesbians. This isn't a joke. I love them, and I understand them.
We'll say that a Twitter user hears that and gets mad. Well, now they're gonna take to Twitter and make a post saying, oh my god, TOMMYNFG's a Nazi, and a racist! A racist! He hates black people! Well, if that gets popular enough, more people will inevitably say, y'all didn't know TOMMYNFG was a racist? Shit, he called me the N-word last week! And from there, it becomes a whole thing where the entirety of Twitter just refuses to look something up and just says, yeah, fuck TOMMYNFG, he a bitch. And do you think I'm lying? Well, let's go back to Quite for a second. Within a day of those allegations surfacing, the entirety of Twitter decided that they fucking hated Quite. His fan art hashtag was practically ripped limb from limb, his editors were getting lynched in the streets, his entire Twitter account was blasted by people telling him that he was a rapist or that he needed to reply. His entire Discord server got nuked like 3 times over. And if there were a bystander that dared to say, well, maybe we should wait to hear Quite's side of the story, well, that person would get the Blood Eagle. And that's because Twitter has a very nasty case of switching up on anyone and everyone without actually paying attention or even putting in the bare minimum effort to hear what the accused had to say. That's like one of the core rules of the law, man. And then when Quite made his near feature-length movie-long video disproving literally everything and outing the person who lied as the abuser, Twitter just about exploded. And then, like I mentioned in every case, we had the people who saying, oh, y'all just realized Quite's innocent? He punched my rapist in the mouth last week. And then you go check their post and they were publicly hanging a Quite editor the hour before. And that accuser? They got off easy. I mean, maybe Quite sued them. I kinda hope he did. But for the most part, they got treated like a Scooby-Doo villain. Casually just wheeled off away. Twitter is genuinely just the hub for all things piece of shit lowlife. But do you remember how I mentioned clip farming? Well, that is the thing that the internet has decided where a streamer will intentionally ham up their reaction and jokes to try and get people to clip it and post it. So basically just trying to really ham up how entertaining they're being. And people do not like that. Not one bit. Now before explaining, do you not see why that's fucking stupid? It's inauthentic, I might hear you say. Well, do you want a stream of the person sitting there like a goddamn carcass while they play their game like you do? I don't. I want to enjoy the stream. And if that involves some hand-up reactions, so be it. Yeah, content creators are people, but we need some energy. Do you really want to watch a Cenat clip where he is sitting there mindlessly playing Elden Ring? Or a Jinxie clip where he gets obliterated in Siege and doesn't rage? What about a Joe Bartolozzi clip where he gets jump scare and barely reacts? Cause those are all the moments where I've seen the clip farming accusation. This claim is pretty much TikTok exclusive, and it makes sense that it comes from there because everyone on that godforsaken app is so rotted by the screen that they can't help but want to hate on a content creator for creating content. But for my final statement, switching up has just kind of become the thing to do. It's no longer cool to enjoy content, and I think that's kind of dumb. And if you disagree with anything I've said in this video, well, feel free to comment so I can completely ignore it. And don't you worry, I'll only switch up when it directly benefits my best interests, which is why you should subscribe!